Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing chapter 14, verse 23. The verses have been merged from 22 to 25 in Prabhupada's Gita and 22 and 23 in Swami Mukundanand's Gita. So we've done one of them, 22 in the previous one. So I'm going to read that again, just the translation so that we can have an understanding. So Arjun had asked basically three questions. What does the person who has transcended, not somebody who's in the sattva guna, but someone who has transcended all three gunas, look like? There were three questions, like what does he, what are the symptoms, how does he act, and how do we get there? So he's answering those questions. Okay, so let's call out to Bhagwan Shri Krishna. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us access the glories of what you are doing. Every day you're sending miracles our way, and every day we miss them. We don't even notice. Amazing things have happened to me just in the morning. Like it's only 11:30 a.m. right now. Amazing things have happened already. Bunch of them have happened since morning, and I almost missed them. And I might be missing more even, but there were at least one, two, three things that have happened that are just out of this world amazing that happened since morning. Four maybe, and miraculous, absolutely miraculous things. And it's just so easy to miss them. So please help us understand you. Please help us build our love for you by being able to see how much you're giving us, and please help us remove all of our anarthas. I know this is a huge ask and it's very scary, and it'll mean that we'll have to give up all of this ego things that we have, like I want this and I want this and I don't want to let go of this and I want to set boundaries and I want to protect myself, otherwise people will take advantage of me, all those thoughts. But many times we just freak ourselves out thinking that that's what's going to happen, when actually that is not what's going to happen. Nothing will happen if we just love. Nobody's going to take advantage of us. Like, it's just this wall that we have because we're afraid of loving. There's a saying, love like you've never been hurt before, dance like nobody's watching. I have it on my fridge, but I'm scared of loving still. So Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us remove all of our anarthas, remove all of our fears, despite the repercussions it will have that we're afraid of happening. Because at the end of the day, what we will get is love, what we will get is joy, what we will get is connection with you, a real connection with you. Please help us love not just you, but others around us as well. Okay, so let's get to the verse. So we'll sing the second one. I'll try to put the English one as well, because I usually just read the Sanskrit one and I forget that I should keep the English one also visible. Udasinavadasino gunairio na vichalyate gunavartanta ityevam yovatisthati nengate. So I'll read the first 122 as well. Bhagwan said, O Arjun, he who does not hate illumination, attachment, and delusion when they are present or long for them when they disappear, who is unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions of the material qualities, remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes alone are active. So it's from here, who is unwavering, that's this verse, undisturbed through all the reactions of the material qualities, remain neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes alone are active. That, at the end he's saying, is to have transcended the modes of nature. So this one is a little bit easier for me to understand, so I'll read this. The Supreme Divine Personality said, O Arjun, the persons who are transcendental to the three gunas neither hate illumination, which is born of sattva, nor activity, which is born of rajas, nor delusion, which is born of tamas. So they don't hate any of them. I'm surprised, I would say they don't love illumination. I would have expected that. So it was a little confusing to me. Well, it makes sense. They don't hate anything. They don't hate the good. They don't hate the bad. They just, and when these are abundantly present, nor do they long for them when they are absent, right? So they don't long for the illumination when they're absent. They just remain neutral to the modes of nature. They just don't care. They're not disturbed by them. Knowing it is only the gunas that act, they stay established in the sense self without wavering. So, what he's saying here is that the mind is made from the material energy, and that's why it contains the modes of Maya. And when we associate with the mind, when we start to associate with the thoughts, we have this negative thought, and we start to believe that this negative thought is us. This is the most crucial thing, even in the personal growth world. It is the most crucial thing that just the entrance of a thought means nothing, and we don't have control over that. But what we do have control over is how we respond to the thought. So sure, if there is a thought, if there's a poisonous thought, if there's a negative thought, if there's an anger thought, if there's an anger feeling or a poisonous feeling, we don't need to believe that we are angry. We don't need to say I am angry or I am sad or I am. All of these are feelings. They're fleeting feelings and they're going to pass. These are not me. I am feeling these feelings right now in this moment. I am thinking these thoughts. I'm not this thought. I'm not this feeling. So the whole English language is designed in such a way that it makes us identify. We believe, I mean, the English language doesn't know about this concept, right? I mean, we just believe, we identify with our thoughts and our feelings. But no, we can say that, oh, I'm thinking in this negative manner, and this is poisonous. This is a poisonous thought, and it is going to damage us spiritually. So we can just dissociate. We can see the mind as separate from us, and we can dissociate and say, I will have nothing to do with any thought that's not conducive to my devotion. So, okay, I got this thought. What do I do about it right now? I just let it go, just like meditation, and then I focus on God. I will either I will chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Or I'll pray, Bhagwan, please help me remove all of my anarthas. I do that a lot. Please help me feel your love and shelter. I touch my neck beads, that's my anchor. Please help me feel your love and shelter instead of seeking it from someone else or something else or food or TV or other addictions or whatever. Please help me feel your love. And I know that you have it for me, so I'm not asking, please help me get your love and attention. I'm saying love and um, attention, did I say? Whatever. Please help me feel your love and shelter. Please help me feel it, because I know it's already there. You already love me like mad. Please let me just feel it. Please let me be able to access it. And so that I'm not accessing it from all these other material things. So use the mind, use the brain as a friend to think about Krishna, to think about God, to think about positive things, even in the material world. What can I do next? What can I do right now to make this life of mine better, so that I can serve God? Ultimately, so that anything that I do, even in the material world, I want to use it so that I can serve God. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this verse. We'll do chapter 14, verse 24 in the next video. Wish you a day filled with lots and lots and lots of Krishna's grace, so that you can feel his love and shelter. Radhe Radhe.